Wofford. Tyler.
Here.
Swift.
Here.
Hoskins.
Here.
Hare. Langford. Briley. Young.
Here.
Okay, we do have a form, we can conduct business, thank you. Moving to item 3, recognition of visitors. At this time, I'd like to welcome all visitors present this evening. I'd like to thank you for giving of your time and effort to be here this evening. If you need to visit with council members, they're ready to do that at all times. If you have questions or concerns, please feel free to stay and visit. Moving on down to item 4, the consent agenda. At this time, I'll entertain.
You turn your mic on.
Thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
Wofford.
No.
I'm sorry.
We have a motion? We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion stands approved. Thank you. Moving to item 5, VUA Supervisor Report. Demi? That's no problem. You might tell us about yesterday.
He needs to go to the mic. Chuck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you step up to the mic? I'm sorry.
We're all learning our new electronic process.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yesterday we had quite a few different leaks going. I think the guys fixed 5 or 6 total leaks in the day. And then when we finished our last one at about 6:30, 6:45, we went over and tried to help Ironside locate a leak that was on their side. We believe we isolated it to a creek crossing, which they made a tie-in on today. And hopefully about an hour and a half, Ironside will have water again. We hope.
Now, Jimmy, am I correct in the shutdown that we had in the southwest part of town yesterday was the result of the Ironside leak?
Yes.
We just didn't know it until
Yes.
you were determined later.
Yes, it was pulling water back towards Ironside, trying to fill their line, and it was kind of starving the residents in that area of water.
So you all spent most of the day and most of the night yesterday trying to sort
Yes,
this.
we were out there for a good long while.
Please express our appreciation. Thank you.
I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Moving down to item 6, is there any new business that needs to come before this body? Hearing seen none. At this time, we'll move to item 7. I'll entertain a motion and a second for adjournment. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 7 passes. We stand adjourned. Okay, at this time, we'll move directly into the Veneta City Council meeting, also scheduled for Tuesday, October the 18th. And at this time, item number 1, I'll entertain a motion to accept the roll call in VUA to serve as the roll call in full council. Accept a motion in a second.
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Number 1 is approved. Moving to item 2, recognition of visitors. Again, I don't know if any additional visitors came in, but we certainly want to welcome you here this evening. We do have some folks that we will get to in just a few moments that have requested some time to speak, but we do appreciate you being here. Moving to item 3. Again, one of the things that our city gets to do on a somewhat regular basis is to recognize veterans of our community. Veterans who have left our community in a lot of cases as young individuals, went off to serve and then returned and then served their community for many, many years. And we have that situation this evening. We have a gentleman who's with us this evening who I actually graduated with, and we won't talk about the year, will we, Philip? But, but Philip joined the Navy. Left right after high school, served his country for 4 years, came back home, after a while came back home and has served his community for many, many years. And Philip, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate your service not only to our nation, but to this community. So we want to thank you very much. If you'll step forward, we've got a proclamation for you, and we'll read it and we'll present it to you.
Might wait for the train. citation of recognition, Philip Frost, Veteran of the Month. Whereas Philip Frost served his country honorably in the United States Navy from 1969 to 1973 during the Vietnam War era, and whereas Philip Frost served as a field medical technician with the United States Marine Corps in the 1st Battalion, 4th Marines, giving support with Charlie Company. Whereas Philip Frost has demonstrated himself to be an outstanding citizen of the city of Veneta, and whereas Philip Frost has dedicated his time, talent, and treasure to the betterment of the city of Veneta and community at large. Now, therefore, I, Chuck Hoskin, on behalf of the citizens of Veneta, Oklahoma, do hereby extend gratitude and recognition to Philip Frost as Veteran of the Month in the city of Veneta, Oklahoma, presented October 18th, 2022.
Good job, Stu.
I had to fill in for the clerk tonight.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
This is citation.
Okay. Which citation is it? Okay. Okay, we also have a citation proclamation we're going to give out this evening, a Children's First program to the Craig County Health Department. We have 3 individuals present this evening to accept this citation: Ms. Jill Crawford, Ms. Tara Robinson, and Ms. Lana Bringardner. If you'll come forward, we'll read the citation and present it.
Hey, ladies. Children's First Program Appreciation Month proclamation. Whereas the City of Veneta profoundly honors the exemplary service of the Craig County Health Department in the 25th anniversary of the Children's First Program, and whereas nurses continuously provide family support services during pregnancy and up to 2 years after a child is born to encourage prenatal care and personal development, and whereas nurses go above and beyond to meet the needs of pregnancy, infant care, stress management, safety and nutrition education, child development assessments, and health monitoring to safeguard the health and safety of the child and mother, and whereas nurses have served thousands of Oklahomans through this voluntary public service program that nurtures a nurse-family partnership encompassed around the importance of health, safety, and child development, and whereas the residents of Veneta and surrounding communities are grateful for our nurses and Craig County Health Department for their unwavering dedication to provide treatment, health care, and leadership. Now, therefore, I, Chuck Hoskin, Mayor of the City of Veneta, on behalf of the City Council and residents, do hereby officially recognize October 2022 as the Children's First Program Appreciation Month in the City of Veneta. Thank you, ladies.
All right, I believe we have one last proclamation, community crisis.
Okay. And-
I'm not aware, is there anyone here to accept this this evening? Oh, please,
no,
please,
come on up.
come on up. Can we have your name, please?
Hi, Ms. Crawford. Okay, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In the City of Veneta, in recognition of the important work done by survivors, domestic violence programs, and victim service providers, I urge all citizens to actively participate in the scheduled activities and programs to work toward the elimination of intimate partner violence. Whereas, in just one day, across the United States, In territories, nearly 75,000 victims of domestic violence sought services from domestic violence programs and shelters. That same day, more than 9,000 requests for services, including emergency shelter, housing, transportation, childcare, and legal representation, could not be provided because programs lack the resources to meet victims' needs. Whereas the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and societies as a whole here in this community and throughout the United States and the world. And whereas racism, homophobia, transphobia, ageism, and discrimination based on physical ability, nationality, ethnicity, or other factors help to perpetuate domestic violence and make finding safety even more difficult for some victims. And whereas the need for safe housing continues to be rated as survivors' most urgent need, and whereas the City of Veneta joins with others across Oklahoma and the nation in supporting victims of domestic violence, as well as local programs, state coalitions, national organizations, and other agencies nationwide who are committed to increasing public awareness of domestic violence and sending a clear message to abusers that domestic violence is not tolerated in the City of Veneta. Whereas domestic violence impacts millions of people each year, but can be prevented, preventing domestic violence requires the collective voice and power of individuals, families, institutions, and systems, each whose number one thing adds a valuable and powerful component to transforming our communities. Now, therefore, I, Chuck Hoskin, Mayor of the City of Veneta, do also hereby proclaim October 2022 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thank you. While I still have a hot mic here, I would be remiss if I didn't let everyone know that you've probably seen an invitation to a Carrying Hands Luncheon, October 25th, which goes to support the work of the Community Crisis Center, and it's at the fairgrounds. And so if anyone wants to attend, you can talk to me. I'll help you get there, or Ms. Crawford. So thank you so much for being here.
All right, thank you. At this time, we have a citizen that has requested to speak, Ms. Tanya Atkins. Tanya, do you want to step to the mic, please? Welcome.
So I'm here on some concerns for our community, and going off of my own experiences recently. The Veneta Police Department has failed myself, and I'm sure others, because of their actions. I have been the past year, a little over a year, in an abusive relationship myself, and I have made several calls to the police department. I made one on December 19th of 21. I filled out a report. The officer took pictures. All of that is gone. It's missing. I requested the report. It's not existent anymore. The officer that was there is blaming, first he said that he shredded it because I failed to file charges. Then he has since backtracked and blamed an officer who he was training that was with him that night, and said it was he left it in his responsibility, but he was also admits that he was responsible for that officer in training. Nothing was turned into the DA or the Marshal Service because myself and the other one, other person involved, are Native. They never received anything on it. Then again, on August 8th, I had to call them again. That report is available, but again, never turned into the DA's office or Marshal Services. They just sat on it. And then on September 26th, I had to call them again. I have made other calls in between, but these are the reports that I've actually filed. Where there was a lot of destruction to my property. The officer, I finally was ready to do the protective order, do whatever I had to do to get out. And so I did the emergency protective order here at the police department. It never got turned into the courts. I showed up for my court date that is written on my emergency PO, and I show up there, and there I'm not on the docket. Come to find out, the officer never turned it in to the court clerks or to the judge that granted it. So that emergency protective order that the other party violated is not and void because it never got turned in. I came up here, the officer couldn't even find it. He made a copy of my copy. That following Monday of the 26th, I came to the police department to have a meeting with the chief of police, who made a joke out of my situation. When I am scared for myself. So something needs to be done, and light needs to be brought to the public that this is why us as women are not getting out. I was safer and would have experienced a lot less had I just took him back and stayed with him than I would have with him getting away with everything that he'd done to me, even after the protective order. The only thing I can say that even protected me was because I felt like I wasn't getting no help here. I drove to Tahlequah and got a protective order from Cherokee Nation. And that is the only thing that I had to stand on today. But it was after the fact of all these other things that he'd done, and they cannot hold him in contempt of that protective order because that's not the one he broke. The one he broke was the one that the Veneta Police Department issued me at 10 o'clock at night that they never turned in. And like I said, it's missing along with pictures and a report from December.
I certainly apologize for the several situations that you just went over. And my promise to you is that our city attorney will get with the chief of police and we'll sort through this. And I promise you we'll do the very best that we can. Thank you. All right, moving to item 4. At this time, I'll entertain a motion and second to approve the consent agenda. No, that's all right. We have a motion by Dale Hare. Second by Councilman Wofford. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 4 stands approved. Thank you. Moving to item 5, discussion, consideration, and possible action on memorandum of agreement between the Cherokee Nation and the City of Veneta, improvement of certain public parks, recreation, water, wastewater facilities, invest in Veneta improvement plan. I have a statement from the chief of the Cherokee Nation to read after there is a motion and a second, if you so desire.
Parks Committee met last week to approve to accept a $510,000 in-kind donation from the Cherokee
We do have a motion and we have a second. All right, and again, this MOU covers $510,000 plus. It is for the installation of 3 new bathrooms, one in North Park, one in Adams Park, in combination showers and restrooms in our Lake Park facility. It also includes almost $50,000 in playground equipment to be located in the southwest corner of South Park. And moving ahead, there will be no transfer of funds for the restroom facilities. They will be built in place. The city, there's been questions about maintenance and upkeep. Well, currently we pay $75 per month on each porta-john that's located in our public parks. We will do away with those porta-johns, and those dollars will go toward the maintenance and the upkeep of a facility, our facilities that the community can use and be proud of. The chief of the Cherokee Nation was going to be in attendance this evening. However, former Principal Chief Wilma Mankiller's youngest daughter passed away this last weekend, and her services were today, and the chief could not get away. However, he did send this message, and he asked me to read it to you. So it says, Mr. Mayor and members of the Veneta City Council, it is my honor, as always, to work with the city towards progress for all of us. I regret that I cannot attend this evening's City Council meeting to discuss our latest partnership to improve parks and recreation, and I wanted to share a few thoughts. The Memorandum of Understanding under consideration this evening represents an investment by the Cherokee Nation of over $500,000. It will fund public restroom facilities in North Park, Adams Park, and Veneta Lake Park. It will help fund a playground project in South Park. It is the kind of investment that helps everyone and makes Veneta an even better place to live and visit. Cherokee Nation looks for these kind of investment opportunities across the reservation. We can make the biggest impact on communities that are undertaking their own efforts at improvement. Veneta, with its Invest in Veneta plan, is just such a community. Deputy Chief Brian Warner, Councilor Victoria Vasquez, and I could not pass up the opportunity to pitch in and invest in the Veneta plan. The Invest in Veneta plan, which includes over $1 million in park and recreation improvements, will make a positive and enduring impact on the community. I commend the mayor and the council for taking historic steps to improve public spaces in the community. This is exactly the kind of investment that Cherokee Nation should support because it improves the quality of life for everyone. I have called Veneta my home my entire life, and I have never been more optimistic about its future. Cherokee Nation is the city's long-term partner because Veneta has always been and will always be a vital Cherokee community. As long as we all understand that our future is inextricably linked to our past, there is no limit to what Cherokee Nation and the city of Veneta can achieve together. Chuck Hoskin Jr., Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation. Any additional questions, comments? We do have a motion. We do have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion stands approved. Thank you. Moving to item 6, discussion, consideration, and possible action on resolution 2022-3794, application for REAP grant fiscal year 23. Alan, are you going to speak to that, or? Okay. You might step to the mic. I'm sorry.
We are applying for this grant to help fund some of the improvements at the library. That's what this grant will be used for.
Okay, what's the desire of the council?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 6 stands approved. Moving to item 7. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to appoint James Tracy as interim street commissioner effective October 18th, 2022. Dale?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. And I might say that we did have a street department committee meeting, and Chairman Briley highly recommended James to fill this position. All the council members in the committee agreed with that and went along with that. So that's where we are this evening. Not only will James be serving as their interim street commissioner, he will also take on the additional responsibilities of the supervision of parks and cemeteries, and we certainly appreciate that. So, all right, we do have a motion. We have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 7 stands approved. Congratulations, James. We appreciate you very much. Moving to item 8, discussion, consideration, and possible action on ordinance 3395, appointment of interim street commissioner. We just did that. No, I'm sorry. What do we have this down twice? Oh, A, okay. To perform both normal duties of street commissioner and also the supervision and administration of parks and cemetery department to compensate said interim street commissioner for the performance of such duties. We're dealing with item 8A. Do I have a motion and a second? We have a motion? We have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. 8A stands approved. Moving to 8B. This is consideration of the emergency clause. Do I have a motion and a second? We have a motion. And we definitely have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 8B stands approved. Thank you. Item 9, discussion, consideration, and possible action of the recommendation from the Public Safety Committee. Chairman Langford, do you want to just talk about this?
Yes, we apparently do not have as part of our packet the contract, so we're not going to approve it tonight. If you have any questions about it, I'll be happy to answer before you actually see the contract. Real quick, with the fire, we got that much stuff. Police, we got 2 pages front and back. We got a late start on it, and there's a little bit of a transition in the FOP. That's why we're not going to be able to prove it until November. We really didn't have, there was no animosity in it at all. I'll hit the highlights real quick. We recognize the need to try to retain the police. So those that, if the new hires that come in from another town will be compensated for their service at the other town. So they don't start at level 1, tier 0, whatever you want to call it. Their service at other places will be recognized. And then their specialized training that we will compensate the officers for example, canine units. We don't have a canine unit. We have two officers that could do it. So they would be paid a little bit extra to do that job. Once again, I have all of that here. It's also in the contract, but if you have questions after the meeting, let me know. But for right now, we need to table this.
Mr. Logan?
Yes, and I agree with what the chairman has just indicated to you all. Although I actually do have a signed copy from the other side. But unfortunately, we were unable to disperse it to all the council members before the meeting. So anyway, it will. It is basically as Dr. Langford laid it out for you. The only thing he did not say, because he's not one to blow his own horn, is that I will say the reason this thing went as smoothly as it did, and that we were able to achieve the agreement that we did, which I think is good both for the city and for the Veneta Police Department, is largely because of Danny's efforts, and he really did a super job, and I just want to commend him for the job he did. And echo what he said earlier, some of the provisions that you will see when you get the contract and have an opportunity to review it, you will see that we've got what we are presenting should serve not only as a mechanism for hopefully new recruitment to the Veneta PD, but also retention of our officers in a better fashion than we've done in the past. And anyway, that's all I have, and we'll talk about it more next meeting. Thank you.
Very good. And Chairman Langford, this is retroactive anyway, right? It is, even though we push it into November, it's retroactive back.
Retroactive back to the start of the fiscal year, and as Leonard said, the police have signed off on it. We just haven't signed it yet.
And because this item does not state a vote, it's just possible recommendations, this item will just be passed until the next council meeting. Thank you. All right. Moving to item 10, discussion, consideration, and possible action for requests from the Bonita Area Chamber of Commerce for street closures for the Christmas parade, December 1st, 2022, beginning at 5 p.m. West Canadian at South Park, north on South Scraper, east on West Illinois, south on South Wilson to Delaware Street, returning to South Park. Is there anyone with the chamber here this evening? That's the desire. What's the desire of the council? Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 10 stands approved. Thank you. Moving to item 11, discussion, consideration, and possible action for requests from Christmas in Bonita for street closures on West Canadian from South Scraper to South Smith, December 3rd, 2022, from 2:30 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. Anyone with Christmas in Bonita? What's the desire of the council? We have a motion? We have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 11 stands approved. Thank you. Moving to item 12, discussion, consideration, and possible action for payment to MES invoice number 1758751 in the amount of $13,114.56. Alan, what's this for? What's this? Okay. Oh, that's yours? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's a bunker here for 3 volunteers and 1 full-time member. So the cost that you see there, the city will only be out $3,078.64. The Safer Grant will cover the remaining $10,035.72.
Just out of curiosity, the Safer Grants for volunteer equipment, all of that. What's the city's portion of this for?
Yeah, for the full-time employee.
Okay, that's what I was. Okay, 1 full-time employee. Thank you. What's the desire of the council?
Once again, in case that there's four sets, we're paying for one. And I'll put that in form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 12 stands approved. Thank you. Item 13, discussion, consideration, and possible action for payment of Oklahoma State University Fire Service Training invoice 087173 in the amount of $14,850. Chief, I bet this is yours. He could do it, but go ahead.
Again, that's covered under the Safer Grant. That's our EMT class that is currently being held right now here in Bonita, and all of that is covered by the Safer Grant.
Awesome. Very good. We have a motion. We have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Item 13 stands approved. Thank you. Down to department reports. City Administrator, Mr. Goforth, you've been gone, but you came back to an active day as usual yesterday. Do you have anything for us? Okay, very good. We appreciate the electronic report. If you have any questions for Alan, he'll sure get with you. Item B, Cemetery, Park, Street Departments. New street commissioner. Do you have any additional information for us? Thank you. Appreciate that.
Nothing major. We've just been spending a lot of time clearing the floodplain ditches, our major floodplains, playing catch up on mowing. It's finally died down enough we can really hammer on that. So we're about 80% done with the culvert replacement on West Canadian. Very good. The road's open back up. We just got some dirt work and cleanup to
And I think I noticed some painting in the school zones at
Yep.
Will
Yeah,
Rogers.
we got that done.
Good, very good. Any questions for new commissioner? Okay, thank you, sir. The library report, I know there's a library spook stories coming up here, and on the 28th, there's going to be two programs, two age groups. Infants and toddler story time will be at 11:30 a.m. and kindergarten up will be at 3:30. The little ones will be welcome to come in costume. They can enjoy spooky stories, treats, and activities. So as usual, the library is putting on great activities for our young folks, all folks for that matter. All right, moving down to item D. Police Chief, what do you got for us?
As far as it goes, we did go through the auction here recently. It was a great turnout, and it generated quite a bit of funds. I'm still waiting for the final result from Rocket M, but as far as pure dollars, it was just over 40,000. We'll still owe a little bit to them, but we should be coming in somewhere around 38 something. So, I mean, it's pretty good. Those cars sold for more than what I think we would have got any other way. With it being online bids and everything like that, because the person who actually came in and bid on those cars was from out of state. And so I don't think they would have done it if it was not for the way that we had done it. As far as what's going on in town, multiple arrests for various things, and trying to respond to every kind of call. And there's really nothing else going on right now.
Quite a bit going on. Chief,
Yep.
Remind me, how many vehicles were we able to dispose of this
So
week?
that was 3 patrol units, and then the old patrol unit that was overused by the city and then brought back to us.
I got you.
So there was 4 units that were able to be taken out. So
Very good. Appreciate it. Any questions for Chief? Thank you, Chief. Fire Department. Chief, what do you got? We got your electronic report, and we appreciate it. Just okay.
Not much more than that. Like I said, we're at fire prevention in the schools, and the kids are loving it. We get to put the inflatable in the gym. They don't have to go outside. It's been cold the past few days, and it puts a whole lot of smoke. So if you hear the fire alarms going off in the schools, it's just us. But it's really a great pleasure for us to go there. And I actually did it all day yesterday. I was on vacation Friday. That's why my report didn't come in until this morning. And I was over there a little bit this morning as well. So it's fun to get out of the office and get over there and let the kids see it and interact with them. So, but outside of that, everything in the report, and we're still in need of rain. So, other than that, we're still under a burn ban. I don't anticipate that being lifted anytime soon. All of the neighbors around us have requested help on fires. Nothing significant, knock on wood still. So, other than that, things are running smooth.
And Chief, I know in your report, hydrant testing is still on tap, but it's just trying to get coordinated with, if we can get the leaks to stop long enough to test the hydrants. But truly, I mean, it is something that needs to be done, and I know you guys are.
Yeah, and we've got some hydrants that really need tested. We're curious, some numbers on them. And so hopefully next week we'll be able to get to that.
Very good. Thank you. All right, moving down to Economic Community Development Coordinator. Misty is not with us. She's on travel today. She gave us electronic report. We come down to item G, code enforcement. Henry, do you have anything for us in addition to the? Okay. Yes, sir.
Maybe some of these that you have on the list, I do miss seeing the names. The one that jumped out at me was 123 West Illinois, application. Where are we in there with that? It doesn't change the fact you haven't had it back.
Well, I used dilapidation because of the wall, the way it looks to me, if they would bring in an engineer and show me that, hey, no, it's fine, I'm good with it. I just know that our
concern that the thing might fall down. It's a pretty public building, if it's having a safe, you know, if we just keep us informed, that's interesting that you brought it up. I'm sorry?
It's on the side where people park their cars, but the cars are parked next to the building. It's back there on Logan and Lowry, that lot. There's a section of it like this that brings it all down. Like the somebody just went over and set rocks on one row, the brakes that are still there.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Henry. Please keep us up to date on that. All right, city clerk time. City clerk is on travel, but I want to take this time to thank Rhonda for being here this evening and filling in for us. And we certainly appreciate you being here, especially with the water problems you've had out at your home in Ironside. All right, moving down to item I, Treasurer. Madam Treasurer, here this evening. Do you have anything in addition to your reports that you've provided? If you have any questions for Paula, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to visit with you and answer those questions. Down to my portion of the report, I just, and again, I know I say it a lot, and maybe some people think I say it too much, but our city employees, I can't thank them enough. From the city water workers, the wastewater, the solid waste, our fire department, street department, police department, everyone truly answers the call. And just like yesterday was an extremely long day for all of our folks associated with the water crew. And again, I want to express my appreciation, as all council members do. If things come up that we can assist, I don't want you to ever hesitate to let us know that. And again, you all know my feelings about this community. This is my hometown, and it's near and dear to my heart. And I can't believe the good fortune that our communities keeps having. This partnership with the Cherokee Nation, and obviously I'm extremely proud of the Cherokee Nation. But anytime a community the size of Veneta is able to partner with the Cherokee Nation for $500,000 of improvements for our community that directly impacts our citizens of all ages, this will be something that will be talked about for many, many years. The improvements that are going on in our parks, and again, there are certain things that a city can do, and I believe that we should do all of those things that we can do. And I think, and I know that you are extremely good stewards with the dollars that come into this community. So when we're able to take advantage of and to accept $500,000 in improvements for our community, and you'd already passed $1 million of improvements for our 5 parks. And so it's just a good and great thing to be in the community of Veneta, Oklahoma. It always has been, and it always will be. And I just want you all to know that I appreciate being here. I appreciate the Cherokee Nation. I appreciate all partners that we have that come together for the benefit of the people that live in this community. So I want to thank you all for that. Now, I recognize a very dear friend that came in a little bit late. I believe that she had intended to sign up to speak a few minutes. Is that correct, Ms. Downing? If you want to step up, and I got a message from the clerk that you were going to be here, so that's how I knew you wanted to speak. So come on up. Welcome, Cecily. Thank you.
thank you, Mayor Hoskin and the council for allowing me this opportunity to speak to you. Briefly, I wanted to address the city of Veneta out of respect for you, the mayor, as well as the city, and to bring this amazing idea and opportunity for the city to be involved as well. I put at the beginning, because this is one of my favorite quotes by Robert Kennedy, "It is not more bigness that should be our goal. We must attempt rather to bring people back to the warmth of community, to the worth of individual effort and responsibility, and of individuals working together as a community to better their lives and their children's future." With that being said, I took to the American Legion Council on last Tuesday. Was actually my mom's idea. I go through a lot of her notes and notebooks where she jots down her vision and ideas that she didn't get to play out before she passed away. And one of them, she had the Pony Express down as one of her visions. She had this about maybe 8 years ago. She had a date by it, but unfortunately, she passed away before that was able to be played out. So I want to try to do that. It's a lot of work, but it takes everybody as well as the community to do this. So I'm gonna read just the first thing. Our first annual Pony Express blowout will promote an appreciation for our cultural heritage, provide education about the role of African Americans played in shaping the history of the West, while giving youth a hands-on experience with sportsmanship, equestrianism, and agriculture. This will produce a fun and exciting event designed for the entire family that offers entertainment, cultural, and educational experiences and features some of the nation's top Pony Express competitors. I sent Clerk Brian Prince a video, as well as Angela and Heath. I sent him a video. Heath Winfrey. I talked to him and sent him a video. If you've never seen this event play out, you need to type it in on YouTube and watch it. It's pretty exciting. So I put, the sport is a celebration of the heritage and lifestyles on which much of the country was built. Competitors and spectators stand and doff their hats for the national anthem. They put their hand over their hearts for the Pledge of Allegiance, and they take a moment of silence for those who gave their life in service to our country. And then there's the sheer thrill of the sport. The teamwork between the horse and the rider, and the contest between the horse and the athlete. And of course, the unpredictability of the competition that requires such measures of athleticism. People identify with what the cowboy represents. The next page, the world of the Pony Express and the word community go together. With roots dating back to the Americans' agriculture and ranching past, rodeo has continued to pave the way for the preservation and protection of a lifestyle that is still relevant in our modern world. While modern advancements have changed the course of Americans' Western heritage, the love for this lifestyle continues to thrive through the sport of rodeo. Along with the hard work that goes into our beloved sport comes a strong sense of community. And with this event, many Pony Express events also have the privilege of supporting local education through scholarship opportunities for local high school students. The late Glenda Downing played a vital role in the Veneta public school system. She treated each student as if they were her own. She poured into them the importance of education. She showed them that they were somebody. She invested her time bringing Black history awareness within the public school system. During those times, she didn't just teach one to embrace the Black history side. She taught everyone to embrace diversity and come together in unity. Also, I want to mention how this event and the economy side, how it will support the economy side of Veneta. Driving economic growth is something that communities and businesses strive towards daily. Their strategic roadmaps are almost always structured in a way that allows for optimal economic growth while being resource and time conscious. Though some communities and businesses will put up a roadblock to large events, they don't want to deal with the crowds or the crazies, Events, no matter their size, can be a boon to local businesses and economies. Even though events drive an influx of cash, that's not to say that money is the prime reason to put on an event. Putting on a profitable event can be a challenge given the number of unknown variables, but the economic impact on local economy itself is palpable. In addition to driving additional revenue for the area, this event can bring in publicity that piques the interest of those outside of the community and can improve tourism. I put brief history, which you guys can read, but I want to give the city an opportunity to also be a part of this event and to support this event as well. Next year will be the 20th year that my mom had started putting on the Juneteenth celebration in Addicks Park. In lieu of that, we're going to take that event away and do the Pony Express blowout at the arena, the rodeo arena. And so with that being said, if you guys have any questions, you can call me, or if you want to be a part of it, you can call me as well. We have the support of I talked with Chief, and we have the support of the Veneta PD. I talked to Sheriff Heath Winfrey, and we also have the support of them. I'm in the process of talking to Cherokee Nation as well and get the marshals involved as well, and IMSA. So with that being said, I'm done.
Essentially, thank you. When you get to the point to where you have dates, times, and events and all those kind of things, if you would.
I'm sorry, Mayor. I do have dates. I put that on the back.
Okay.
The date approved was for Saturday, June 17th. And the time of that event, we're going to start the grand entry at 7. We're going to do it just like a regular rodeo. Start the grand entry at 7 o'clock. We're going to honor. My uncle is. My goodness, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. He is with the, I put it on the back page. Here we go. The local Buffalo Soldiers. And you've probably seen him on the news or in the papers where he rides his horse to different events or black rodeos across the state. And he's from Bartlesville. So, and they call him Wolfman. So that's him on the news. But we're also going to open up with honoring them, and they will come in on their motorcycles as well as horses to that event. And it will be set up. We will share the Grand Marshal. We haven't, got that plan yet, but Mayor, we will let you guys know that. And we want to open it up to vendors, to sponsors, to volunteers. I don't want it to just be a us thing. I want it to be a community thing and have the whole committee to be diverse and all inputs.
Essentially, as you talk about the grand entry, is there going to be other things that afternoon or something people can be involved in, or is it just
I'm scared to tackle that.
Okay,
I'm scared to
that's
tackle
fine.
that.
Like I said, when you get those kind of things in place, feel free to share them.
Okay. Now we will open it up to vendors. I kept it down to 2 food vendors, food trucks, but we will open it to other vendors like T-shirts. We will have a T-shirt design just for that event, and then we'll control the concession stand, all that good stuff. It will literally be in line just like the Will Rogers Memorial Rodeo. Only thing is, it will be the Pony Express race.
Any questions? Standing, thank you for being here. You're always welcome. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. I believe that concludes today's business. Is there any new business that needs to come before this body? Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, you really need to read the list of what they do take, seriously, because anything that they don't take, they're just going to have to dispose of. So that's.
Home of Hope has asked the city of Benita on more than one occasion for help, mainly financial help. My wife's on the board, and I have some of the other administration. So I said, next time you ask the city for help, let me be the middleman. next time what I'm gonna tell them is, don't come asking for help after the budget is already made. I'm not providing a lot of help right now. We are responsible for their trash. What can't be recycled, we hope the
Exactly.
city of Benita will be able to take care of. And those of you that are old enough to remember previous recycling endeavors in the town of Benita, people are people. I mean, you got couches, you got stuff that is trash. But instead of treating it like trash, we're gonna take it out to home, I hope they recycle and they do something about it. That's where the city of Benita will come in. Again, next Tuesday, paper, magazines, cardboard, aluminum cans, let's take them all out to home, I hope that's right. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you reminding us of that. That is very important. We appreciate the Home Hope for doing that. Anything else? Seeing no new business. Well, excuse me, Madam Chair.
Folks, that the Cherokee Cultural Center in Mitchell, Cherokee Cultural Center is open. If you haven't been yet, 9 to 5, 7 days a week. It is a sight to behold. It's a wonderful stop for folks in our community and visitors.
I understand they are doing a brisk business already and the advertisement's not even out there yet. So it's going to be a good and great thing. So appreciate it. Anything else?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
To Jimmy, you think that they're going to have the water back on in Ironside tonight? Maybe?
They made a tie-in for the creek crossing today. They were doing coordination stuff on like that, and it should be roughly 7:30 around the road.
It's between 7 and 7:30.
Awesome.
I can let y'all know if you'd like.
That'd be great.
Our Facebook communicators are both out of state.
Yeah.
City, right? Time for both of them.
Yeah. No more time off for him.
Anything else?
If we knew how many phone calls I got, because James Tracy cut a water line out there at that street crossing, we'd have had a fit. I thought sure he was in trouble.
This one wasn't your fault, right?
Nope.
I was blaming him too, so.
As a new commissioner, James, that's kind of a standard thing. We appreciate you. You have broad shoulders, and we appreciate that. If we can help, you let us know. Okay. Anything else, folks? All right. If not, at this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second for adjournment. We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We stand adjourned. Thank you all very much. We appreciate you. Chief.